If you're shopping for a car on a limited budget, we've got some good news for you. Take a look at these 15 best used cars to buy under $10K. 15. 2014 Dodge Avenger. The Dodge Avenger is a mid-size sedan that is affordable and offers good reliability. The Avenger also has balanced handling and powerful engines, including a standard 4-cylinder and an available V6. But the cabin is strictly low rent, with cheap materials and minimal amenities. There are seats for 5, but rear seat room is limited. The base trim is not equipped with many standard features, but available extras include the Uconnect infotainment system, navigation, and automatic climate control. 14. 2014 Mitsubishi Mirage. Budget-minded shoppers looking for the cheapest reliable car available need look no further than the subcompact Mitsubishi Mirage. With a minimum average price comfortably below $7,000 and a good predicted reliability score, a 2014 Mirage is the least expensive car on our list. The Mirage has a couple of things going for it, including outstanding fuel mileage and a decent list of standard features, including a user-friendly and feature-rich infotainment system. Beyond that, the Mirage is strictly basic transport, with sluggish acceleration, a rough ride, and a cheap-looking interior with seats that lack support. But if a cheap ride and reliable car is all you want, the Mirage fits the bill. 13. Toyota Prius V, 2012 to 2014. If you're already a Prius fan, here's one that's 6.0 inches longer, with 70% more cargo space. The Prius V has an interior cargo space of a Honda CR-V or Ford Escape, but the shape of a wagon. There are 4 trim levels aptly named 2, 3, 4, and 5. Top trim Prius V5 models come with heated seats and LED headlights, the latter giving it top marks in IIHS safety ratings. Although all Prius V models earned good ratings in IIHS crash testing, every Prius V below the top trim came standard with halogen projector headlights that scored poorly on driving tests. Every Prius 4 uses a 134 HP 4-cylinder hybrid engine with a CVT and front-wheel drive. 12. Toyota Sienna, 2011 to 2014. It's unlikely any kid will beg for a minivan as their first car, especially if they've spent their entire elementary career being carted around in one. But if a third-generation Toyota Sienna is already in the family, it might be a good idea to keep it there. The Sienna was available in both 8 or 7-passenger versions and powered by either a 187 HP 4-cylinder for base Siennas and LE trim models or a 266 HP V6 engine available on any trim but standard for Sienna SE, XLE, and limited models. At the time, the Sienna was the only minivan that offered all-wheel drive, only available on V6 models, but that dropped EPA estimated fuel economy to 16 miles per gallon city and 22 miles per gallon highway, from the front-wheel drive 4-cylinder Sienna's 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 miles per gallon highway. That said, it'd be a lot easier to move them to college in the bread van that is Sienna than anything else on this list. 11. Toyota Venza, 2009 to 2015. Putting your teenager behind the wheel of a Toyota Venza grants a few promises. Even if your youngster launches from a stoplight, a full throttle pin to 60 miles per hour in 8.4 seconds for all-wheel drive V6 models will likely take long enough to be interrupted by another stoplight before 60 miles per hour happens. With an EPA estimated 24 miles per gallon on the highway, it's probably not the thriftiest SUV in the parking lot at field hockey practice. And you can get a full night's sleep knowing that the Venza was an IIHS top safety pick from its debut until it was discontinued in 2015. The new Venza is a fancier RAV4 hybrid and is still too new to fit under a $10,000 budget. 10. Ford Taurus, 2011 or 2014. The Ford Taurus was discontinued in 2019 after sales lagged well behind its full-size sedan competitor, the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. Despite the 6th-generation Taurus lasting nearly a decade without any significant changes, there are a few model years and trims worth cherry-picking. According to the IIHS, any 2013 or newer Taurus had longer side curtain airbags with improved protection in the event of a crash. However, although Taurus SHO models had the HID projector headlamps, they scored just as poorly as the halogen projector lights on base SEL trims during IIHS headlight testing. 9. Honda Accord, 2013 or newer. We've been suggesting the Honda Accord to adults since many of them were kids. Since 1985, 9 generations of Accord have won our top 10 best trophy. It's been pretty dang popular too. In 2013, with 366,678 sales, the Accord was the second best-selling car in the United States and set the bar for driving excellence at a reasonable price. We lived with a 2013 Accord Sport Manual for 40,000 miles, and it was celebrated as a car several staffers would own. The 2013 Accord was offered as a coupe or a sedan, with either a 278 HP V6 with a 6-speed automatic transmission or a 185 HP 4-cylinder with a 6-speed manual or CVT. In any configuration, the Accord earned this IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus rating. Number 8. Honda Civic, 2012 to 2015. No, the 9th generation Honda Civic doesn't have the cult following like the high-revving coupes and hatchbacks for the 1990s, but it's far safer and better on gas than the Civics before it. Its base engine is a 140 HP inline-4 with an EPA estimated 39 miles per gallon on the highway. And it's available with a manual gearbox, arguably the most important prerequisite for a high school diploma. It's relatively easy to score a sub $10,000 Civic sedan with less than 100,000 miles on it, although most listings are for economical CVT equipment models. For a more thrilling ride, try the 201 HP Civic Si, available only with 6-speed manual transmission. To keep the budget under $10,000, however, Civic Si listings will likely have more than 160,000 miles on them. 7. Hyundai Tucson, 2012. In 2012, we ranked the 176 HP all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucson dead last in a 6 SUV comparison test. Our review of the Tucson, in summary, meh. But time has passed. The same Tucson can be had for less than $10,000, and meh, it ain't so bad. And although we picked that particular Tucson last, it did have a few selling points versus the Ford Escape, Honda CR-V, and Mazda CX-5 of the time. Not only did the Tucson have the most front interior space at 55 cubic feet, it had the quietest idle and the lowest top speed. So, even if it's not our first, second, or even fifth pick, it's not a bad choice for a kid just hitting the road. 6. Mazda 3, 2011 or newer. There's an old saying that the best new cars make the best used cars, and this has been one of the best compacts for most of the past decade. The Mazda 3, which has always been available as a small sedan or hatchback, is not only safe, fuel efficient, and reliable, it's also a hoot to drive, with sharp handling, good power, and a fun sporty disposition. These cars are also spacious for their size and have stylish high-quality interiors. 5. Mazda CX-5, 2014 or newer. Mazda's compact crossover, the CX-5, has only been around for 2 generations, and we've been fans since the beginning. The little SUV's first generation debuted in 2013 and ran until 2017 when the present design arrived. Both offer class-leading athleticism and driver enjoyment, well-crafted interiors, and smart styling. Even the older models still look good. The CX-5's design has always been more soccer player than soccer mom. In the second half of 2016, the crossover got a few updates such as a backup camera, touchscreen audio system, and navigation system, which became standard on the Touring and Grand Touring trim levels. 4. Subaru Legacy or Outback, 2013 or newer. Also considered workhorses with impressive safety are Subaru's mid-size offerings, the Legacy sedan, and the Outback, which is based on the Legacy but is part wagon and part crossover. Combine their sales, and these have been among Subaru's best-selling models for the last decade. Both offer standard all-wheel drive, and the Outback has a higher riding suspension, which gives it more ground clearance for light off-roading. The 5th generation of the Legacy was sold through 2014, while its replacement was offered from 2015 to 2019. Most have a 4-cylinder engine, but a more powerful 6-cylinder was available. These Subarus also have a continuously variable automatic transmission, CVT, which can feel different than a conventional automatic. 3. Toyota Camry, 2012 or newer. The Toyota Camry is responsible for phrases like "old man tan" and 50 shades of beige, but even as the butt of many jokes, it's been a best-selling car in the US each year since 2002. The 7th generation Camry won't match the fit and finish of a Volkswagen Passat or offer as much comfort as the Kia Optima, but where it does shine is its promise of an unobtrusive commute. 2. Toyota Highlander, 2008 or newer. The Toyota Highlander Hybrid was the most fuel-efficient SUV Toyota made at the time, earning just 1 mile-gallon per less in the city than the subcompact Toyota Matrix, according to the EPA. And yeah, you can easily find a 2008 Toyota Highlander Hybrid Limited, complete with all-wheel drive, heated leather seats, and navigation for less than $10,000 today, but it's going to have at least 200,000 miles on it. The rest of the 2008 Highlander models were powered by a 270 HP V6 and were available in either front or all-wheel drive. A 187 HP 4-cylinder engine became available in 2009 and offered a 3 to 5 mile per gallon improvement over V6 models. 1. Toyota Prius, 2011 or newer. As folks who love the thrill of the drive, it pains us to suggest the 3rd-generation Toyota Prius to anyone. But the Prius lives in reality, not some twisty traffic-free fantasy. As of this writing, the national gas average is $3.20 a gallon, according to AAA Insurance. Now the old Prius, with its EPA estimated 48 miles per gallon combined fuel economy, seems to be a pretty awesome suggestion. Easy to drive and quiet, the Prius also has more cargo space than every new Ford EcoSport, Chevrolet Trax, Toyota CHR, and Jeep Renegade. The EPA says it can travel almost 580 miles between fill-ups. And with today's ridiculous fuel prices, refilling a Prius from empty would cost about $38. Do let us know in the comments which one of them you would like to buy. Thanks for watching.